Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, December 6th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol BITF. Very, very nice mover today. Did this one in yesterday's watch list so if you watched that video, congratulations. Specifically talked about how if the price could come up there, break that red line, I like the chances of it going to new highs. And it did break that level. And you can see right there, opening 30 minutes, broke the area, and then did indeed go to higher highs. So for any of you that took that trade, congratulations. What I am going to do though is just extend this trend line out because this trend line is still 100% in play right now. So just continue to watch that from any sort of, if you like to play more so pullbacks, that seems to be a trend line that is still valid. Maybe you disagree and that's fine with that level. But the one level, if you don't want to use that trend line, you could also use is that upsloping 50 period moving average right there, that purple line. In terms of areas of resistance, nothing too fancy or complicated here. Just a question of essentially where did the party finally stop today? And that was right up there at about $2.06. So 206 going to be that main battleground again. Nothing fancy logic-wise, just the fact that that's where the price finally stopped going up today. But overall, as long as this thing keeps on putting those higher highs and higher lows, which it's been doing, that is by far what matters most. Next one here, BETS, and this one caught me off guard. The last time I was looking at this was, the price had broken out of that pattern right there, was going nice and nice and nice. But my guess is there must have been some sort of news or something happened during that 30-minute session because, wow, did that thing get absolutely crushed. So I am a little caught off guard by this. I thought, we'd be looking at something very much different, but we can still go with this because now there's, it's taken a very different angle, but, from a technical standpoint, there's still some things that can be considered. And in this situation, what could very well be interesting is there is this trend line here from an overall standpoint where the price will need to get a little bit more ugly. The price will need to pull back some more, but if it does, then that's where this becomes a situation of if you like to try to play bounces, can the price go down there, find some support, and then get a bounce? Now, you want to be very careful. You need to be disciplined traders to take situations like this because you don't want to find yourself turned into a bag holder. But if you can be disciplined, then from a risk-reward scenario, you could be looking at a very nice situation because even if there's price comes down here and then just moderately bounces relative to what was being risked, you could be looking at a very nice situation. But yeah, no doubt about it. Absolute bloodshed here. But from a trading standpoint, I think that trend line right there presents a very interesting dynamic. Next one here, NIO. Very nice start to the day. Had the gap up, opening 30 minutes, good solid green candle. And then from there, basically a slow drift downwards. But this is where things get interesting because notice where the drift is apparently stopping, at least for now. And that is right there on top of that pink line, which on my chart denotes very well known, the very famous 200 period moving average. And from a support standpoint, that's how you would want to see that level behave. And that's exactly what happened. So it does become not guaranteed, but more valid to say, okay, I think this pullback is over. I think that it could be finding some buyers right there. And I think that there could be a bounce occurring. Again, no such thing as a guarantee, but that is certainly a more than plausible scenario to keep an eye on if you like to play these stocks that start off really strong and then you get these pullbacks. So keep an eye on that purple line on the pink line there as a potential bounce point. If the price does try to head back upwards, then in the very near term, you have a relatively steep trend line here that you could watch as potential leading indicator of more strength returning. But in my opinion, at least, the most important dynamic is the price maintaining above that pink line. Next one here, MARA, and overall, good movement here. Higher highs, higher lows, as I already said once, and that's what you want to see. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that level, and then just extend this trend line out like I did on BITF. So extend that out. But like I said on BITF, if you don't want to use this trend line, then you can also consider using that purple line there, the 50 period moving average. That could also potentially work. So keep an eye on these couple areas from a support standpoint. In terms of areas of resistance, take maybe a little different approach and put in what I always think is kind of a unique resistance, and that is that level right there. And I call these unique ones because, let me fix it, there we go. Whoops. Because in theory, the price can never break above that line ever again, but the price would still be put in higher highs because that trend line has an upward slope to it. So I'll say that again. In theory, the price can never, ever get up above that trend line. But that doesn't mean that the chart wouldn't be putting in new highs, because, like I said, this level does have an upward slope to it. There we go. So keep an eye on that, as I think that's going to be a level here that a lot more people are watching. So somewhat of an upwards channel here is forming. These lines aren't totally parallel, but close enough. But overall, as I've stated already, higher highs and higher lows is the name of the game, and that's what this one has been doing. Next one here, AMC, and overall, this one has pulled back quite a bit from that resistance, which, let me show that because I mapped that out yesterday, that red line, which is essentially right where it got rejected. So you can go back here in the history of things, and the price has been rejected from there before, and that is, once again, right where the price got rejected. So a good example here on the power of charts. And now it's just a question of making sure this thing doesn't spin too far out of control. What would I define as out of control? This level right here at $6.80. So let me change that to green to represent an important area of support. Why would I consider that quote-unquote out of control? Well, if the price were to come down here and then break down through there, what would that be doing to the price? That would quite literally be putting the price right back to where it was. Or said another way, that would imply that the price made a very, very nice move to then just go right back to where it started, which is not really a sign of any sort of genuine power, where price movements make great movements and then they go back to where they were. Once again, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but that's why in my mind, 680, very, very important level of support. If the price does try to turn itself back around, key area of resistance is going to be right there. That pink line there, the 200 period moving average, and then, yeah, still up there at 750, but one hurdle at a time, and the first key hurdle now is going to be that 200 period moving average. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'll be offering here in a couple of days. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then certainly get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box, or if you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage you can click to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and overall, pretty crazy day. And when you look at the opening part of the day, gap down and then spent this 30 minutes straight up, that 30 minutes straight up, that 30 minutes straight up, to then almost having all these gains wiped away as the price pulled back. But as I've been talking about in past videos, the knight in shining armor was once again that 200 period moving average, or the pink line, which is a good sign to see. You want to see that level continue to hold as support, and as of right now, so far so good. With that being said, if the price does break down below there, a more important level from a bigger picture standpoint would then be that level down here at the 232.25 mark. So keep an eye on those areas in terms of areas of support. In terms of resistance, to just offer a bit more perspective, I think, let me check. I think that this seemed kind of random. Yeah, I can't see any sort of former areas I was like, oh, that makes perfect sense why the price got rejected there. I'm not really seeing anything. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but to my eye, at least, I don't see anything that would make sense on why that level got rejected where it does. But nonetheless, that is where it got rejected. So therefore, moving forward, that key area at this point is going to be right there around 246.75. But crazy day for Tesla. Good to see that it's still above that pink line there. So we'll see if that can continue or not moving forward. Next one, ticker symbol CLSK. Very nice breakout from this bull pennant that I drew a few days ago right there. Came up, got the nice breakout, and is now working on putting in those higher highs and higher lows, which is kind of becoming a theme here in this watch, just in terms of higher highs and higher lows. So the first one, and I don't mean to repeat myself, but we have basically the same kind of idea here. One option you could use here in terms of trend lines from a support standpoint is that level right there. But if you don't want to use that, if you disagree, again, no problem. You could also use that purple line there, which is the 50 period moving average. And then we have that level right there as an area of resistance. So I'm not going to sit here and harp on it too much, because you've already heard me talk about why that's a unique area and a unique type of resistance with the higher highs and all of that. But in some senses, an upwards channel. But like I said, these lines aren't quite parallel. So I'm not going to call this a total upwards channel here, but nonetheless, those are the levels that I think a lot of people have probably drawn, and that's what the name of the game is, trying to find areas that a lot of other people are watching and then seeing if it produces self-fulfilling prophecies. But at the end of the day, broken record time, higher highs, higher lows is the name of the game, and that's what this one has been doing. Next one here, ANY, absolute beast mode on this one. And as I speak right now, you can see this thing is breaking out of this little consolidation right here, which brings about always an exciting question. And that question being, is this the start of something even bigger? Now, maybe that doesn't seem like an exciting question, but stop and think about what is required to ask that question. Well, you need something worthwhile happening, because it makes no sense to say, oh, wow, is this the start of something bigger if nothing exciting is even happening? But in this situation, something exciting is happening. You're getting that breakout. Now, to be fair, I mean, maybe it's not. Maybe this thing just rolls right back over. But that is a two-sided coin, because, I mean, well, maybe it is the start of something bigger, and this thing just keeps ripping and roaring moving forward. But at the end of the day, that's what a watch list is all about, finding these unique, finding interesting situations, not rushing out and randomly buying stuff, but watching it. So if you like this price range down below $5, you like these breakouts that are occurring, and then you get to ask that question of, is this the start of something even bigger? Then I definitely keep an eye on this one. Next one, CMND, and the first thing that immediately stands out is we have a very well-defined area of resistance, which is coming up right at this level right there, $6.50. Going through the history of things, you can see $6.50 rejected it there, temporarily break above it, but ultimately rejected it, rejected, slight break above it, and rejected right there. So moving forward, if the price does try to curl back upwards, everybody and their brother's uncle is going to be watching $6.50, which once again introduces that topic of a potential self-fulfilling prophecy, where people are going to say, hey, I'm a breakout trader. Oh, look, that's breaking out. Oh, I'm supposed to buy because it's breaking out. Oh, I'm going to buy. And then you can just get like continued momentum from situations like that. So keep an eye on 650. In terms of areas of support, the two main levels that stand out to me. First level is essentially where the price has found some support so far, which is that purple line there, 50-period moving average. But last 30 minutes are pretty rough as the price is pulled back some more. If the price does violate down to that purple line there, next key overarching level would be that pink line, which you now know at this point is the 200-period moving average, which you can see here has already acted as support on several different occasions. But overall, rough day today with the pullback, but still, if it can curl back upwards, then definitely keep an eye on 650. Next one here, TQQQ, which is an ETF that measures the NASDAQ market. So if you believe the NASDAQ market as a whole is going to rise, this one will also rise. And just one of those crazy days, like Tesla, a lot of these tech stocks gapped down and then spent the early part of the day going straight up. And then there was the pullback, but the nice thing about the pullback is at least it still, technically speaking, is working on putting in these higher lows. So yes, maybe it hasn't been necessarily explosive in maintaining those gains, but if you envision each one of these as stair steps, you can see the bulls are quietly creeping back upwards, which in my mind brings about a valid question. Is just kind of like a launch pad getting fueled, a rocket getting fueled, however you want to look like that, a coil getting sprung up before another move upwards. We'll see what happens. But like I said, the fact of the matter is that the price has been put in those higher lows, which makes it very interesting. In terms of areas of support, though, nothing new here to report. Still the same levels that I talked about previously. Initial level at 42.35, and then the next level after that would be at 41.75. In terms of areas of resistance, I'd keep an eye on that pink line there, 200-period moving average. Yes, the price was able to break above it earlier today, but price was not able to maintain above it. Therefore, still got to be considered that area of resistance. If the price can get up through there and stay above it, then from more of an overarching standpoint, next key level at that point to watch would be right up around 44.50. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here, then I want you to get signed up for that free live class. It'll be in a couple days, Thursday, December 7th. At 7 p.m. Eastern time, so I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy this format, if you would like for me to continue to make these, then do a couple things for me. Hit that like button, leave a simple comment, say hi, tell me what you traded today, tell me what you're watching for tomorrow. But those two things really communicate to me that you enjoy these top 10s, and as long as you know you're enjoying as a viewer, I'll continue to put in the time and effort to get this content out to you. So like I said, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and sign up for that free class, and let me know if you have any questions down below. Thanks for watching.